kibuna sikete tavake oma Kona kita te ate whakana noa Whaka anu ai toke lau ke tong Te pota kala ilo tonu ku alofa Turi turi mai nuka ke tau O ewa iye talabaha akolo Tuku siki toke whaka whano mo Fui fui aku Papa imo heo fo Te kibuna Te tavake oma Kona kita Bea te whakana noa Whaka anu Ai toke lau ke tong Ke pota kala Ilo tonu ku alofa Ave nui Ohala tu pola Venu kesi Ile bunga moyahi Bongia Ile fasi moya Hangi hangi pea Me matala masani Te ibuna Sikete tavake oma Kona kita Te ate whakana noa Whaka amu Ai toke lau ke tong Ke potan kala Ilo tonu ku alofa Kibuna sikete tavake oma Kona kita te ate whakana noa Whaka amu ai toke lau ke tong Ke pota kala ilo tonu ku alofa Turi turi mai mua ke tau O ewa iye Baha akolo Tuku siki Oke whaka whanongo Fui fui oku Papa imo heo fo Te kibuna Si ete tavake oma Kona kita Te ate whakana noa Whaka anu Ai toke lau ke tong Ke pota tala Ilo tonu ku alofa Ave nui Ohala tu poula Venu kesi Ie bunga moya I Bongia Ie fasi moya Hengi hengi pea Me matala Kibuna Sikete tavake oma Kona kita Bea te whakana noa Whaka anu Ai toke lau ke tong Ke pota kala Ilo tonu ku alo
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome to another session of the Kava podcast, Masculine Mind podcast, where we focus on male masculinity, self-improvement, and purpose. Live out of San Francisco on this beautiful Thursday night. Hope everybody's having a good night, having a great day, depending where you are in the world. And as always, my name is Will. I'm the host of this show. I'm your top local host of the #1 Polynesian podcast in the world. All right, we have a great topic to discuss, fellas, all the fellas out there and the ladies, if you're watching. But we have a great topic to discuss about what is masculinity. What is masculinity and what does it mean to be a real man? This is a topic that we definitely need to discuss, especially what's going on right now in the modern world with a lot of young men out there confused of what's going on and what does it mean to be a real man. So appreciate it as always. I have a great show for you guys, but let's get it.
What are we arguing about?
A man is gonna do what a man wants to do.
Yes, all on your wrist. Make you my wife, you no longer my bitch.
Let's get it. My name is Will. I'm the host of this show, the number one Polynesian podcast in the world.
Dripping in Versace. All these other hoes trying to copy.
Women tend to bounce around in relationships. They can't stick and stay in a long-term relationship.
Again, don't agree with this. Just,
So let's say, are you still in it? Are you still in it?
no. So you're basically saying I'm a whore.
This content is not suitable for the children under the age of 18 without adult supervision. Please be advised.
So I just wanted to take the time and make this video to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Must be you. Love all the freaky things you do. My love was way overdue. That's when you came out the blue.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another session of the Kava podcast, Masculinity Pod, where we focus on male masculinity, self-improvement, and purpose. You guys already know I'm Will. I'm the host of this show. It's live out of San Francisco on this beautiful Thursday night. I have a great show planned for you guys as always. And of course, first and foremost, to all my subscribers, people that subscribe and support the channel, you guys already know what to do. Smash that like and subscribe button real quick. Don't forget, if you're watching this for the first time, this is a live show. This is a public show, so anyone can join in. Wherever you are in the world, you can tap in. The link is posted in the description of the video. So just scroll to the bottom of the description, and you'll be able to find the link on there and click on it and be able to join me on tonight's podcast. We have a great topic to discuss, a really important topic, especially for the young men out there, especially in the West. All right, where there is a decline in masculinity. A lot of men are suffering with a sense of lack of purpose, lack of responsibility, lack of value in their life. So we definitely need to dive in today's topic. Usually I'll live stream for 2 or 3 hours, but for tonight, I'm going to probably just do half a show, probably hour and a half for tonight. I got a big interview planned for tomorrow. I got somebody coming in for my first official podcast interview for tomorrow, Friday. So I do want to kind of prepare for that for tomorrow. So I'm just going to do like usually just hour and a half for tonight. And then I'm going to hop off and start preparing for tomorrow's podcast. You guys already know I'm always putting that work, putting that grind to give you guys the best quality content. And I will say this with my chest, there's no other Polynesian Pacific Islander content creator out there that works as hard as me. Nobody's committed as me. Nobody's invested as me. I go hard for you guys. So if you love the content, don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, as always, if you want your voice to be heard, drop a super chat. That's the best way to do it. Drop a super chat, and I'll be able to read it for everybody to see, and I'll read it and respond to all you guys. And of course, this is a live show, as always. Let's get the live chat popping. I do see some of you guys already watching already, so I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Always just the same select people that watch my Masculinity podcast. Probably not the most popular one compared to my Wednesday Hot Topic podcast or my Saturday night dating and relationship podcast that I host. But this is very important to me, regardless of anybody watches or not. This is the content I really want to make because this is something that's important to me, especially being a man, especially having the values, the traditional values that I do have for myself, and what I do believe the role of a man is in a society. So, but yeah, definitely, as always, appreciate you guys for watching in. Let's get that live chat popping. Pop in, say hello, drop a comment, Just let's get that live chat active, okay? But nevertheless, of course, you guys already know at the Kava podcast, always got to start the podcast with some Kava. All right, so got my Kava ready. To all the Kava drinkers out there, shout out to you guys as always. But for my words of endearment for today, what I was thinking about today, something that I always think about, especially when you come to a obstacle in your life and you have to make some choices. And I know for a lot of people, they don't like making choices, but that's part of life. You have to make the hard choices. And even if you don't make a choice, indecision is still a decision. So one of the best quotes I ever heard that I constantly think about is there are two primary choices in life: accept the conditions as they exist or accept the responsibility to change them. So that's my words of endearment for everybody tonight. Olfatu, everybody out there. Man, that's some good Kava. That is some good Kava. I'm drinking some Fijian Kava right now. And I guess one positive news, I was able to get a sponsorship from somebody who wanted to sponsor me with their Kava, some Tongan Kava on the pod. So that's a good stuff. So that's some good news for me. But yeah, as always, but let's get right into it. The topic for tonight: what is masculinity and what does it mean to be a real man? I was on social media and I came across a clip that which inspired me to make to make this the topic for tonight. And I've discussed this topic multiple times in the past, in previous podcasts, and also with outside the podcast with all the guys that I surround myself with, especially with Balafessa. Shout out to Balafessa. But this topic is something that's really, really important today, based on what I see with what is really going on with the state of men, especially young men today. Whether you realize it or not, but especially in the West, because I live here in America, I'm live in San Francisco. There's this war on masculinity. There is this narrative, especially from the radical left and the postmodernists and the very radical progressive types, that especially the feminists, the radical feminism. But there's this push where, men and women can be equal. Biology doesn't matter no more. Facts doesn't matter no more. The role of a man and the role of a man and the role of a woman is the same. So a lot of young boys today are growing up and they don't know what the role of a man is. They don't understand what is masculinity. What is masculinity, right? That's usually when you have those conversations, when I grew up in Tonga, and you guys watch my content and you guys know, based on my upbringing, that I saw what men who were in their masculine, what was the role of a man, was to be a provider, protector, to take care of the family, to provide for their family, to be the first one to step up when the family goes through hard times, goes through challenges. There's a threat of danger. The men, we are the first ones to sacrifice our lives for the sake of making sure that we take care of the people that we love and care about. So men, when I grew up, men were taught to be strong. We were taught to be courageous. We were taught to be ambitious, to go out there and work hard, to have strong work ethic, not being lazy, not being incompetent, not being weak and being a whiner and complaining and quote unquote, the colloquialism we say in the West, don't be a bitch, all right? So that's my upbringing of what I saw, what it is to be a man. But if you look if you look today and you observe today in today's Western society, because we're breaking down, there's a breakdown in the family. There's a lot of families out there that they don't have strong male figures. The fathers are not there in the lives of a lot of men. The men are being brought up and raised by single moms. They're raised by social media. They're raised by TikTok. So they're seeing all this content, all these narratives, telling them what their definition of what a man is, which is opposite of what I just described based on my upbringing, which is the more traditional description and definition of what a man is and what the role of a man is. So a lot of these men, especially the young men out there, they're being told that masculinity is toxic. You don't have to be strong. You don't have to provide and protect because women can do that now. You can depend on a woman. You don't have to stand up on your own 2 feet. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be emotional. So it's okay to depend on people to fulfill your responsibility as a man, as a father, as a husband. So these are the things that a lot of young guys are not only seeing, but these are the things also that they're being conditioned. I would say they're being conditioned to believe. And what's happening today is a lot of men out there are going into the real world with this belief system that they can be emotional, that they can be weak, that they don't have to be strong and courageous. They don't have to be competent. They don't have to work hard. They don't have to have some kind of purpose in their life. They don't have to have emotional control and to go out there and conquer the world and create their life and have some have some purpose in your life. That's why men are going into this real world with that type of belief system. And what they're finding out is with that type of belief system, of not being strong, it's okay to be weak, it's okay to cry, it's okay to be emotional. It's okay. You don't have to be a strong provider protector. You don't have to be a leader. You don't have to be. You can rely on, depend on women to fix your problems. A lot of these young men are going out there to the world and not fulfilling the responsibilities and duties and their expectations of what men were traditionally expected, what men traditionally were expected to do. And what they're coming across is the harsh consequences of the realities of what men face when you are not strong, when you are not a provider, strong, competent provider, protector, when you don't have control over your emotions, when you don't have a sense of purpose, when you don't have strong work ethic, when you don't have a sense of strong habits of self-discipline, resiliency, responsibility, accountability. And they're finding out the harsh consequences that the world, society, women don't give a shit about men who don't provide value to the world, who can't contribute to the world and are weak. So what's happening is a lot of these guys are starting to feel invisible. And you can go look at statistics and surveys out there. There's reports. I saw one research study that there's reports that 30% of men feel lonely, that they don't have any close friends. You can see with the rise of porn, the rise of OnlyFans, guys are no longer approaching women. Guys are no longer pursuing a relationship with women. We see that with the MGTOW, men going their own way, with the red pill in the manosphere. Guys are giving up on women or relationships. They don't no longer want to pursue long-term committed relationships or marriage. So all these guys are putting themselves in position that that our ancestors and the men in the past have never done before. So they're facing a lot of the harsh consequences of not being that traditional man because they're listening to the world, all these definitions of what a man is supposed to be, and they're confused. And a lot of young guys are just confused, right? They're confused. Like they don't know their role in the world. They don't know what their purpose is as a man, right? And without purpose, without role, without some kind of self-identity to understand who you are as a person, then you're going to be lost. You're going to be lost in this world, and you're going to make a lot of bad decisions. And unfortunately, a lot of bad decisions can be dire, and quote unquote also can cost you literally your life. And that's why you see a lot of men today are offing themselves or deleting themselves, as you guys see in the statistics. So this is a really important conversation to have, because a lot of men out there just don't know. They don't know what masculinity is, because just like LGBTQ, or I don't know what the hell, I don't know how many LGBTQ, we have 20, 30 genders. You know, it's so confusing today in this modern world. Like, we have 20 genders. We have LGBTQ, RSU, Z, W, X, Y, Z. I don't know. Like, we don't even, we as a society in the West, we can't even come to an agreement. Like, what is a man biologically, right? Those are the type of conversations that's happening today in the real world. You know, we have this big fight of sexual orientation about when is it appropriate to introduce to kids their choices of whether they want to decide what gender they have. These are the type of decisions, and these are the type of things that we're seeing today in the real world. And it's confusing a lot of people. It's confusing, especially the kids, but especially for young men, they're confused. They don't know and understand what is going on, or what it means to be a real man, and to discuss what is masculinity. So I just wanted to paint that picture for you guys to kind of understand where I'm coming from, why I'm so passionate about this topic, and why I dedicate my time and effort on Thursdays to talk about these things. All right. So yeah, that's why I wanted to discuss tonight. And of course, I see some of you guys in the live chat as always. I see Prime in the live chat. D Yuri, I see you in the live chat. Hey, good to see you. I think the first time I seen you guys on the live chat, I believe. All right, so shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, how many genders in the Polynesian culture? Yeah, there's only 2 genders in this world, regardless of where you come from. And that's a biological fact, male and female. But yeah, as always, appreciate you guys. But I have some clips I wanted to play real quick for you guys. Some things I saw online, just to get you guys to think. All right, and also, if the fellas, if you guys are watching this right now, I want to ask you guys, what is your definition of masculinity? I would love to hear what your definition is. I'm going to break down my definition of what masculinity is for me, and also what does it mean to you? What does it mean for you to be a real man? I want to hear from the fellas, and also if the ladies, if you guys are watching this right now, I would love to hear your thoughts on from the women's lens and the women's perspective. What does it mean for women? What does it mean for you? What does it mean for you? What is a real man? What is a real man to you as a woman? And what is masculinity to you as a woman? Drop down in the live chat. I wanna hear your answers so we can compare what you guys, your definitions, and compared to mine, and we can have that discussion. But yeah, let me play some videos real quick for you guys, and we can react to it. Some things I just saw, that some discussions when it came to masculinity and what the meaning of masculinity, or what the meaning of what a real man is. And we can react to it together. And of course, don't forget, this is a live show. It's a public show, so anybody can join. I definitely want to challenge the fellas. That's something I'm always challenging you guys, especially on this channel, for all the men, to come on the podcast and be able to practice your ability to articulate yourselves and your value system and your beliefs. And I said this on the last podcast, and that's why I'm always challenging you guys to come on the podcast, talk about it. One of the biggest things that you definitely want to learn to do, especially as a man today, especially in this world where you start to see there's so many, there's a big attack and war on the sexes, on masculinity, on traditional values, on morals. I think I was watching a podcast, and they were describing the West, where the West was a technological giant, but but is morally dwarf. Is a moral dwarf. That's what I think. That's the quote, I believe. So there is a breakdown in morals right now in any society, and I think that's something that's we definitely need to pay attention to and start being aware, because I do believe that the foundation of every great society is the nuclear family, and the foundation of a strong nuclear family is strong values and morals. But if we start breaking down morals and values from the bottom, which is the foundation of society, I think it's going to, over time, it's going to collapse. And that's one of my biggest things I'm starting to see in the future, that if we keep going down this trajectory of the breakdown of morals and strong values, especially the strong families, I do see a society today that eventually is going to collapse. And it is something that, if you see in the past, if you read a lot of history about certain strong societies that were flourishing back in the day, like Greek and Sparta and Greece, and then all of a sudden it collapsed. If you do some research on it, some interesting reading on it, a lot of those societies collapsed because the men collapsed. And I think there was a quote out there. I was reading something, said that the best way to weaken a society is to weaken the men. If you weaken the men, then you can take over any city, any society, any country. All right. So that is why it's so important for us to make sure that as men, we need to understand our role, what makes us strong values, because the people who are going to stand up and defend the values and morals of what makes good men, good families, and the people we love and care about is us, is the strong men. So if nobody is going to defend what is good and what is considered morally right, then the world is just going to collapse. And I think that's what's happening right now with America. That's why it's so important for men to be able to articulate themselves and be able to learn how to not only explain your morals and values and your belief systems, but also go out there and show it to the world, and go out there and be on podcasts, and go out there and spread why it is so important to be strong men, especially in this world, because there's a lot of content out there that's pushing men to be weak, pushing men to lack purpose, pushing men in behaviors that destroy them eternally as a man. And we need more men speaking up, and we need more content out there to fight that type of negative content. And that is why it's very important for men to understand and learn how to be able to articulate yourselves. So I highly encourage you fellas out there, man, come on the pod, click on that link. Stop living on the live chat. Stop living vicariously through other men or the content creators you like to follow, and stop working on the path to become that type of man that you want to be. Your best version of yourself, the man that you dream of becoming. The man that's confident in his beliefs and is confident in his values, and it's not shy to come on a camera and be able to have that conversation because you really absolutely believe in what you say and believe in your life experience of what you've gone through as a man. So definitely challenge you guys every single weekend, every single week, jump on the pod. But let me play some clips of some interesting conversations I saw that was online about this topic, and we get to react to it, and then we can expand more on the topic. All right. So let me play the first one I saw. Where's that video? Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to find the video. All right. There it is. There you are. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, don't forget to press that like button. Okay. And don't forget, if you want your voice to be heard, if you want something to say, or you just find value on the content and you love the podcast, drop a super chat. I'll definitely be able to read it and respond to all you guys out there. Okay. And also, just let you guys know, I would love to hear from somebody who has an opposing view. So whether you're a woman or you're a man, if you believe that if your ideology is totally opposite of everything I'm saying here on this podcast tonight, of what is masculinity or what it means to be a real man, I will love to have you opportunity for you to come on and jump on a debate, and we can debate each other and challenge each other of why you believe that men should be weak, should be emotional, should cry, and be opposite of the traditional values that men were taught that I grew up in. Okay, so good to see you, Sideways. I see you in the live chat, Sideways. Hey, what's up, D? Hey, good to see you. Good to see you guys. I know some of you guys were on the podcast from last night, the Hot Topic Wednesdays. It was that was a good podcast. It was hot. It got hot on that podcast. So I'm out here. I just enjoyed the solo, the more relaxed and chill Mastermind pod compared to some of my other podcasts. But nevertheless, let's keep it moving. And let me play this video real quick. I found it, and we get to react to it. And as you're reacting to this video, I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Okay, so let me play it.
Some of us confuse masculinity with, you have to be a big guy, and you have to work out every day 5 hours at the gym, and you have to have a few tattoos. I read a comment online. Someone wrote to some other dude that if I see you, I'm going to change the geography of your face. Meaning, your eyes will end up here and your ears will end up there. What kind of nonsense is this? This is not masculinity. Or we associate masculinity with wealth. A guy, a man, he's got to be wealthy. He's got to be driving an S500, a Bentley, an Escalade, I don't know what.
All right, so that was the a video I saw on YouTube. It was a good video, good short. I think it was about 55 seconds. So let me know what you guys think about that video. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Okay, but I guess where we need to start is what is masculinity, right? We have to define what masculinity is. All right, but that video made a good point, right? Because we don't know the definition of masculinity, a lot of young guys don't know where to start, right? If you ask most girls, the way, what is the role of a woman, what is the role of a man? If you're going to live through life and you don't understand your role and your purpose and your self-identity of who you are as a person, it's really, really hard to navigate through the world where there's so many things influencing us on a daily basis to make decisions. And if you don't have a certain value system to help you navigate yourself in this crazy ass fucking world, then you're going to end up being influenced to do certain things and make certain decisions and engage with certain people and put yourself in certain situations that will absolutely destroy you, right? So that is why it's so important to understand what is masculinity, what is your role, what is your purpose in this world, what is your self-identity of who you are as a person. So that way you can understand where to go, right? For myself, I truly believe that one of the role of a man, the biological role of a man and purpose of a man is to be a provider and protector. I saw you, D, you mentioned that on the live chat. All right, I truly wholeheartedly believe that in every single grain and cell in my body. Okay, that my role in my life is to provide and protect my family, my wife, my kids, the people I love the most in this world, and it's my job to provide and protect them. So what does that mean for me? It means for me is every single decision in my life that I make, it has to align with that belief system and that value. So that is why I hustle. That is why I work hard. That is why I make sacrifices. That is why I'm committed to my goals and dreams. That's why I dedicate myself to be disciplined. So every single thing I do in my life is to make sure that I'm working on myself as a man to be competent, to be strong, to provide and protect, which usually it's always tied to money. So I have to make sure that I'm putting myself in a very financial independence. That's one of the things I work on every single day, to be financially independent. That's my goal in life. So I don't want my children to suffer. I don't want my wife to live a difficult life. I want to provide my children, my future family, a better life than I grew up with as a child. So that's all I do every single day. That's what I focus on every single day. Anything outside of that, I don't make decisions to go towards opposite of that. So when people come to me in my life, when I see content, when there's temptation, when there's things that influence me, hey, go to the club, go have fun, go party, go drink. When I hear that type of content online, or do I hear from other people, or do I hear from family members, I don't even entertain or make a decision to go towards that direction, because I know what my purpose is. I know my role is, and I know what I need to do as a man. So that is why it is so important for you guys to understand what your role is, what your role is as a man, what your purpose is as a man, what is your self-identity, like who you are as a man, who are you? Who are you? That's a question that you really, really have to ask yourself, right? So because if you don't know those concepts of those things about yourself, that is why a lot of guys make bad decisions, and they fall into certain situations that only destroy their life or weakens them and doesn't build themselves up to be strong men. That is why a lot of men today, they're lazy as fuck. That's why a lot of guys today watch porn. That's why a lot of guys today live on the internet, right? They're just watching shit online but never going out to the real world. That's why a lot of guys just play video games all fucking day. That's why I see a lot of guys just smoke weed and try to go to the club every other weekend, or they work the same minimum wage job and never have any aspirations to either move up or get a promotion to get a better job, or pursue any kind of ambitions, their own ambitions in life as a man, or have certain purpose. So in this very materialistic world that we live in today, I would say sometimes hedonistic, where there's no, everything is just, there's no more morals now in today's world. So if you don't understand what your role is, your definition of what your role is as a man, your purpose, your self-identity as a man, you're going, and you go out there to the real world. When you go out there to the real world as an adult, and you face the realities of the real world, the temptations of the real world, right? And you start making decisions as an adult. And if you don't make the right decisions, you're going to attract a lot of the consequences. And those consequences are going to be harsh. And one of the harsh realities of a man is no one is going to come save you when you inevitably going to fail. Because you will fail. That is one of the guarantees in life. Things will change, and you will fail, and you will make mistakes. And even though failure is not something that we should see as a negative, it should be something that you should look forward to, because that's where we learn and we grow and we adapt, and we test our limitations and push ourselves to figure out who we really are. But if you don't have some sense of direction, right? They always say, if you don't know where you're going, you will fall for any path in life. So if you don't know where you're going, you might end up being an alcoholic, drug abuser, porn addict, right? Loser, minimum wage worker, just being an average dude, average person, lazy as fuck, playing video games all day, depressed, sad, anxiety, whatever it is. All the outcomes, all the consequences of the things that what will inevitably happen to you when you don't put in the work to build yourself up to be a good, strong man. So, but let's get right into it. So what is the definition? So from that video, right? Oftentimes when we talk about masculinity, all right, and of course we often, as guys, we also see in the world, the top tier men, the men who we look up to, the men that we consider masculine men or men that we consider successful. So a lot of times we have these certain definitions of what we think masculinity is. And let's break that down a little bit for all you guys out there, right? So let me just get some Kava flowing real quick. Ooh, that's a good Kava. All right. But yeah, so he made a great point. You know, a lot of guys think that masculinity, because, you know, traditionally back in the day, you know, our being one of the qualities of being a man is being strong, right? And of course, we all have this image of what is a strong man, you know, depending on your family members. You know, it may be your father, maybe your father was a good strong man, maybe your uncle, maybe your grandfather. But oftentimes when we see men who are considered to be quote unquote, you know, men or masculine men, we often see that it has a correlation to how big they are physically. All right, so there's this belief and idea that for a lot of guys, they think that masculinity is just based 100% just based on your physical attributes, right? As a man, right? So if you're not big and strong, if you're not physically, you know, if you don't have big muscles, or if you're not tall, or if you don't have a physical presence, you know, then you're not masculine, right? So, and of course, that's 100% a fallacy. I know a lot of guys who won the genetic lottery, you know, big, strong, abs, you know, muscles, biceps. I know a lot of guys with great physical attributes and are physically strong, but I wouldn't consider them masculine. And I'll explain a little bit more why, right? I know a lot of guys who, from the outside, they look physically strong, but on the inside, they're emotionally weak and they're mentally fragile. So the idea that that masculinity is based on how big you are or how physically strong you are is false. But we need to also understand that that's also part of the process of becoming that masculine man. One of the aspects you have to work on is your physical health, right? Because in order to be a strong provider protector, you need to be you got to have the physical capability to be able to execute and do your job. All right. So if you want to be a provider protector, and if you want to be able to have the energy and the physical strength to execute, to wake up every single day, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, to go to work, to push yourself, to provide and protect your family, you have to have some kind of physical strength. You can't be physically weak. All right. So you can't be I see too lit to quit. You can't be motherfucking soft. All right. You can't be as soft as fuck, not only emotionally, but also physically. All right. Because the burden and the burden and responsibility to be that strong provider protector for your family, it is a physically enduring burden. Like, you have to be physically strong every single day to get up every single morning and go out there to the world and take care of your family. You know, if somebody is threatening your family, if somebody comes to endanger your family, it's going to take physical strength and physical violence to defend your family from the threat, from the danger. And if you're physically weak as fuck as a man, then number one, you're not going to defend your family. Then you're literally a liability to your family as well. So physical strength and just being masculinity is not purely based and defined on your physical attributes. So it doesn't matter if you're tall, doesn't matter if you're short. I know a lot of guys right now, 5 foot, under 6 foot. I know we live in a world where a lot of modern women today don't give a fuck about short men. They only want 6 foot men and above. All right. But I know a lot of guys out there right now who are under 6 foot, masculine as fuck. I know a lot of guys right now, under 6 foot, great men, great character, great provider protectors. I'm a big fan of watching the Navy SEALs Hell Week. And a lot of the guys in the Navy SEAL who make it to the Navy SEALs, it's funny. If you ever watch that show, I love watching military shows, but most of the guys who make it through Hell Week are the short guys. The guys who are big and tall and strong, they rarely make it through the training to become a Navy SEAL. Because at the end of the day, to become a Navy SEAL, it's not based on your body, it's based on your heart, your soul. What do you have inside of you, right? So usually the guys who have all who are big and tall, they've been told all their life that they got it and they don't really need to go out there and really earn it. But the guys who are a little bit smaller, they've been the underdog their whole life, so they really have to prove themselves, and that's why their desire and their will often is a lot stronger, especially when it comes to that type of training. So, so it's important to take care of your physical health because you need your physical body to be able to be a competent provider protector, to be an effective provider protector, but also you have to be able to stand up and protect your family. All right, you can't if you don't have the ability to provide and protect for your family, then you're going to suffer. And number one, you're going to be a liability not only for your family, but for the people around you. Okay, so one of the things from that video was talking about money, right? One of the things in the West, one of the narratives that we see on social media that if you have money, if you got status, if you're wealthy, then you're considered to be that quote unquote masculine man, right? So a lot of guys today, I see a lot of guys, especially for a lot of the young guys, especially in this world of it's so easy to make money today in the world, especially on social media because of the internet. Because of crypto, that's a great example. There was a lot of guys on crypto. I was watching a podcast online, and they said that there was a lot of crypto millionaires. When Bitcoin was when the prices was soaring, I think 2-3 years ago when Bitcoin was doing really well, and what's the other coins? I can't remember the other Ethereum. So there was a lot of kids. There was a lot of young guys out there that became millionaires overnight. I'm talking about kids 16, 17, 18. But here's the thing: a lot of the kids, a lot of these young guys became overnight millionaires. They became financially successful. They had money, but these guys were still not considered masculine, depending on their peers, depending on women. They were still struggling to gain respect from the men around them, or to even attract women. So even though wealth is necessary in order to be an effective man, to fulfill your duty and responsibility, but wealth is not absolutely the definition of being masculine, right? So just because you make money doesn't necessarily mean that you're a masculine man or you're a strong man, right? I know a lot of guys who make money. I know a lot of guys who have money or have status, but they're irresponsible, right? They don't have strong values, right? They're fucking idiots. They do dumb shit with their money, right? So I know a lot of guys like that. So just because you have money, that does not necessarily mean that you're considered a good man or you're a strong man, right? So that's one of the biggest fallacies or what confuses a lot of guys, because oftentimes, and I don't blame a lot of guys also, because on social media, you see the content on social media, most, especially most of the guys that we look up to, we consider, oh man, these the men that we look up to. Like a lot of guys, perfect example would be Andrew Tate, right? Andrew Tate, a lot of guys look up to Andrew Tate, and Andrew Tate has money. He's physically strong. He can fight, but he has status and he has wealth, right? So a lot of guys are like, wow, man, if a lot of guys believe that making money is the only prerequisite or standard they need to work on in order to be masculine, in order to be a real man. And a lot of guys do that, right? A lot of guys work on their money, or they try to find shortcuts to make money, to make that fast money, that overnight money, and they still suffer the consequences of all the things I talked about before earlier in this podcast. I mean, they still suffer with depression, they still suffer mental health. They still get pushed around, or they still get disrespect from the people in their life, or the women don't want to be with them, so they still suffer. So. And of course, a lot of these guys on social media are fake as fuck also. And there's a lot of, what's that word? There's a lot of, damn it. There's a word for it. I can't remember the word. The salesperson that goes out there and sells fake shit from city to city, town to town. There's a word for it. If you guys know what that word is, post it on the live chat. All right. But yeah, so there's a lot of we all know that most of social media is fake. People only post what they want you to see, not the real life. So there's a lot of guys out there flashing their money, making content. They're in the bars, or they're at the clubs. They're getting on a private jet, even though it's not really their jet, even though it's they're flexing. They're flexing. That's the word. They're flexing on Instagram, when in reality they really haven't done the work to build the consistent and to build the wealth that they claim they have online. So a lot of guys out there are just faking it online and look like they're successful, look like they got money, but they're not really that dude. All right. So, and there's a lot more things we can talk about on there. Also another one on that video was if a guy is a guy that fights. All right. Okay. So a man that knows how to fight, the man that can that knows how to box, or maybe is good at fighting, he is considered a masculine man. A guy that can beat everybody up, a guy that that has the skills to kill somebody, to fight somebody, to destroy somebody. So that for a lot of guys, that can be considered masculine man. So that's also not the case as well. There's a lot of guys out there who may know how to fight, or maybe really good at boxing, or maybe good at MMA, or maybe good at they went to the military, so they're very good at defending themselves or attacking people, martial arts or whatever. Even though I do push men, like that's one of the most important skills as a man. You should learn how to fight to some degree, right? Because you have to be able to provide and protect your family in times of danger. So if you don't know how to fight, I think that's a very essential and necessary skill as a man, just to understand the basics and not let people push you. Don't be a pushover. If you're not confident in your physical strength, if you're not confident in yourself physically to be able to stand on to protect your boundary as a man, especially when it comes to other men, and especially when you go out there to the world, then there are people out there, there are bullies out there that will try to bully you, or they will try to take advantage of you, or mess with you. So it's really important as a man that you don't take shit, and you have belief in yourself that that I'm going to not only stand for what I believe in, but I can also defend it physically if it has to come to that, right? So that's also one of the narratives, right? That you have to know how to fight, but I know a lot of guys out there that know how to fight, but all they do is beat their women, they're abusers, they're physically domestic abuse, and they have no control, right? No control over themselves, and they're just a liability, and a lot of these guys end up going to prison. So there's a lot of things that we see online, especially a lot of these young guys. We're watching it; they grow up online, and they see all these definitions of what a real man is. Now, I would say a lot of the things that we just discussed right now, especially when it comes to being knowing how to fight, money, your physical attributes to be fit. I don't believe it defines you. It defines masculinity, but I do believe those are very essential and necessary skills that allows you to execute and perform your duties and responsibilities as a man, as a man. So I do believe those are just skills. Those are just skills that it's important for us to learn and master, so that way we can be better, more effective as provider protectors, right? But it doesn't define you, right? Just because you're short doesn't mean you can't be masculine. Just because you were born poor, or you're currently poor right now in this situation today, but you're working yourself every single day to get out of it, doesn't mean you're not masculine, right? So it really, really comes down to what is the definition of masculinity, and what does it mean to be a real man. So if you've been watching this podcast, I've said this multiple times, and I've said this with Balafessa, and what our definition of masculinity is, it comes down to the three tenets, right? The three tenets of masculinity. And also, I think one of the things that when we have these conversations online about what is masculinity, and I've watched different podcasts, and they often talk about like what is masculinity. I think one of the things that why a lot of men struggle, because as a collective, as men, we really haven't come down to figure out a universal definition of masculinity that can apply to all men in the world and to apply it to all men of certain situations, right? So if you as a man go out there and claim you can only be masculine if you're physically fit or if you're tall and big and strong, that doesn't help all the guys who are out there who are under 6 foot, they're 5 foot, and doesn't help the guys who don't have the good strong genetics like a lot of the top tier men do. So it doesn't help them in their life to understand what masculinity is. If your definition of masculinity is 6 foot, is over 6 foot, big, strong, good genetics, then it doesn't help the other guys out there who don't have the same genetics as you. So that's why that definition is weak. So if you say money is to be masculine, you have to be financially healthy and to be financially successful and wealthy, right? We all understand that only 1% of the population is wealthy. 99% of most men are not wealthy. Most guys are just going to get an average job and get a normal job, 9 to 5, and then that's what they're going to use to take care of their family. So it doesn't help those guys in those situations, and of course, it doesn't help the men who are broke, poor, hitting rock bottom financially, just made some bad decisions in their life, and they're trying to rebuild themselves back up. It doesn't help those guys, right? And if we think the definition of masculinity is violence and knowing how to fight and knowing how to beat somebody up, it doesn't help the other guys who are not in that level yet. So what we really need to do as men is, and I think we need to find a definition that works for every man, regardless of your situation, regardless of your predicament, regardless of where you are in this world, whether you live in the West, whether you live in Africa, whether you live in Saudi Arabia, whether you live in China, whether you're 6'4", 6'5", whether you're 5 foot or you're under 5 foot, whether you were born in a successful, wealthy family or you were born in the hood and you were born to you were born into poverty. So we need to come with a definition that applies to all men, and also a definition and values that any man could use and be able to build himself up to become the type of man to become that masculine man and become that strong man and be that strong provider, leader, and protector in his life. And I think me and Balafessa, shout out to Balafessa if he's watching this right now, I think we came up with a definition of what is masculinity, that any man, wherever you are in this world, if you listen to these three things, it's three, I call it the three tenets. Well, me and Balafessa, we call it the three tenets of masculinity. It's three values, three principles. If you apply these three things in your life, you will end up becoming that masculine man in your life, and you will end up fulfilling all your duties and expectations of what a man is supposed to do in this world. And you'll be able to not only self-improve, but become that man. Become that man that you envision in your heart. Because every single man in this world, including all you guys on the live chat, right? We all have a vision of ourselves, of the type of man that we want to be, right? The dream version of our future self, right? So, and some of us, we become those types of men, but it is possible. It is possible to become that type of man, but it is going to require a lot of work. And I believe that if you focus on these three qualities of what we consider the three tenets of masculinity, I think those three qualities doesn't matter who you are, you guys be able to apply that to your life. You will be able to start on your journey and path to become that man you've always wanted to become. And we talked about it before on the previous podcast, right? The three tenets of masculinity. So according to me, my definition, and Balafessa, our definition of masculinity comes down to three tenets. One is accountability, right? If you cannot be masculine if you're not accountable in your life. accountability is one of the first and foremost important tenet to be a masculine man, right? Because accountability means as a man that you're willing to take responsibility for your life. That you are no longer going to blame people or blame somebody or blame a situation or the world for your problems. You're going to fix it, and you're going to take responsibility to do the things that you know in yourself, in your heart, that you need to do as a man to become better and to become the man you need to be to fulfill your duties and obligations and your responsibilities in your life. So accountability is number one. The reason why a lot of guys are not in their masculine because they don't take accountability for their decisions, they don't take accountability for their mistakes, and they have a victim mentality. They're looking for the world to feel sorry for them. They're looking for a pity party, and they're looking for the world to save them. And that is why a lot of guys stay rock bottom. Accountability is number one tenet, right? If you take account, I promise you, any man, wherever you are in this world, I know there's a lot of guys out there with the worst situations that I can never dream of being in, right? But regardless of where you are in this world, especially if you're hitting rock bottom and you're going through a tough time, blaming, whining, complaining is never going to help you get out of that situation. The only thing that's going to help you get yourself out that situation is you have to take accountability that, you know what, it is what it is. I am the situation. There's no time to complain and whine and blame other people. What do I need to do to make sure I get out the situation? And that's when you start to reevaluate yourself. And that's when you need to self-reflect within yourself. Look at all the things that you did that does not work and that put you in that situation and start making better decisions to get you out that situation, not only out, but make sure you never go back, right? So life is always a self-reflection of the decisions that you make every single day, right? Regardless of your situation right now, currently right now in your life, you can sit here and blame me. Whether you like it or you don't like it, it still was your own decision that led to you to where you at right now in life. So accountability is first and foremost, number one. That's our definition of masculinity. You have to be accountable as a man. If you're not accountable as a man, you cannot be in your masculine. A man that runs away from responsibility, a man that runs away from his problems, a man that runs away from his obligations and his duties as a man that runs away from the hard things in life, you cannot be in your masculine if you're not taking accountability and moving forward and learning, adapting, and making decisions to learn from your mistakes as a man so you can become better. All right. So number one, accountability. And I see too late to quit. No, nobody's joining. If you want to join, it is a public show. Click on that link on the description of the video and join me and be part of the pod. I got 30 more minutes before I have to close up because like I told you guys before, I can only do a half a show for tonight because I got a big podcast interview for tomorrow, so I do want to prepare for that. All right, so second one is resiliency. Right, resiliency. You have to be resilient. You have to be courageous. You have to learn how to do things when you don't feel like doing it, right? You learn how to push through, overcome, climb, crawl, but you never giving up. Whether you have to crawl, climb, roll, but giving up is not an option, right? So resiliency is so important because the reality is life is hard. Life is unfair, all right? Life is a bitch, all right? Bad things will happen to you. That's inevitable. You will fail and you will embarrass yourself. You will disappoint not only other people, but you will also disappoint yourself. These are all realities of life because we're human, right? No one's perfect, right? Except Jesus and God, all right? But no one is perfect. We're all going to fuck up. We're all going to make mistakes and we're going to do stupid shit, especially when you're younger. To all the young fellas out there watching this right now, you're going to do some stupid shit, but it's necessary. And that's how we learn. But the challenge is life is hard, so we have to be hard. Life is going to, one of my favorite quotes by what's his name? Sylvester Stallone in Rocky, right? Life is going to hit you. Life is going to beat you when you beat you down, and if you let it, it's going to keep you there. At some point, you have to fight back and step back up and start fighting back. So resiliency is one of the things in order to be masculine, because once you're accountable, once you start making decisions in your life to be better, then you also have to be resilient, because life is a journey. Life is a marathon. It's not a sprint. The things that you have to build and work on yourself to be a better man, especially the things that you need to build for your future, for your family, especially when it comes to your goals, your dreams, and your purpose, those things take time. And it not only does it take time, but also there's going to be a lot of challenges and obstacles you're going to face, because the bigger the dream, the bigger the grind, the bigger your vision of the type of man that you want to become, the harder the things that you have to face in life. And that is why resiliency is important, right? It's you got to learn to be able to play the long game. And I know today in the Western world, we live in a very instant gratification society. And that's one of the biggest weaknesses of a lot of young guys, especially the social media age, where we all we see is the money, the cars, the fame, the status, the girls, the women. And we see all these great things that we want to achieve in our life online. But we don't realize most of the guys, 100% of the guys that actually have those results, even though we just saw a 10-second clip of that person's accolades and accomplishments and achievements, but we didn't see the 10 years it took for them to be able to show you a 10-second clip of their life. So it took 10 years for them to put themselves in a position for you guys to watch 10 seconds of something that it took 10 years to build. And that's just the reality. So that is why resiliency is so important. You know, you guys know that the quote, quitters never win and winners never quit. If you're always quitting every single time when life gets hard, if you always quit something that you start, if you can never finish, you know, there's one of my favorite quotes, right? You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great, right? So you don't have to be the best. You don't have to have everything when you start off, but the only way to finish and to be great, you gotta keep going, right? You have to keep pushing through, and that's why mental toughness, you know, that's why the mental toughness and is really, really important to be able to push over the obstacles that we face. But resiliency is one of the most important things as guys that we have to focus on. And that's one of the tenets of masculinity. That's why when I see guys who are resilient, who are accountable, those are the types of men I know that I can respect. And I know they have good character, right? Because when you're accountable and you have strong and you're resilient, that means you're not going to be swayed by the world when it goes against the things that you believe in as a world. That's why resiliency is important. Because when you start building your values and your core principles and the things that define you as a man, you're going to fight and for the things that you believe in. So if the world, even though the world's going to change, if the world tells you, you know what, we don't, you know, all men need to be like women or something like that, right? You're gonna be like, no, I don't want to be a woman. I'm a man, right? I'm going to fight that. That's why resiliency is so important, because the world is, you can't control the world. You can't control the outcomes and the challenges you're going to face. It's going to happen. Adversity is going to happen, but you know, you have to be able to overcome it to get to the other side, to get where you need to be. So resiliency is second, and number three we talked about before on the pod is discipline, right? Discipline is so important. It's the thing that ties the accountability and the resiliency, because the discipline is not only the thing. It's the principle that's going to carry you to make sure that everything that you say you claim to be as a man, that you do it every single time. You know, there's a quote out there that says, it's how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? So that's why for me, I always try to, every single thing I do, I always try to put in my best effort, because if I become lazy in one thing, I know it's going to trickle to all aspects of my life. So that's one of my general rules for myself, that I always do my best. that if I'm going to half-ass it, if I'm not gonna underperform and not give it my best, there's no even point of doing it. All right, so it's really important for you guys to be very disciplined, and especially in this world where there's so much temptation in this world. So many people out there are going to struggle because they don't have discipline. You know, it's not everybody can work hard when you feel like working hard, right? But the key is the reason what separates the average from the great is the people that are able to get up every single day and work hard every single day. A lot of people can be positive every single day, can be happy, can be motivated when things are going well in their life, but they can't be motivated and inspired and be focused when things don't go well. So that is why discipline is so important. You know, building healthy habits, learning to do the monotonous and the tedious things that most people are not willing to do, right? The difference between the 1% and the 99% is the 1% are willing to do the things that 99% of people are not willing to do. And the reason why when you look at somebody that's just like you, when you look at somebody that grew up in the same city, that grew up in the same house, that grew up across the street from you, you guys are the same age, same ethnicity, you both grew up in the same struggle, the same type of financial situation, poverty, whatever it is. If you see somebody just like you, right, and they're highly successful and they accomplish things that nobody ever believed that they could, and you wonder why that person is successful and you're not, it's just because that they were willing to do the things that you weren't willing to do. That's all it is. People complicate. A lot of people want to complicate. You know, there's oftentimes there's a lot of people that try to complicate the method of being good and being successful, whatever it is. But it's not complicated. It's just pure hard work, discipline, and making sure that you have strong values and principles and you know what you want in life. All right. So definitely discipline is so important, especially when it comes to your finances, especially when it comes to your relationships, to your woman, being dedicated to your woman, being committed to your women, all these things that we often talk about. So it's really, really important to make sure that we follow those things. But for me, that's my definition of what is masculinity, right? And that's something that I got from Balafessa. Shout out to Balafessa. But accountability, resiliency, and discipline. If you apply those three things, a man who's not disciplined, a man who's not accountable, and a man who's not resilient, it's often the type of man that we often look down upon, or we consider weak men, right? If you think about the types of men that we consider weak, we consider we consider that that's not a man that we want to look up to. It's always the unresilient type of man, the man who's afraid to do the hard things, or afraid when challenges arise, or they're fearful, they run away from their problems. It's always a man who will run away from accountability, they like to blame and have a victim mentality and whine about their issues and never take responsibility for their life. And it's always the undisciplined person, right? The one that never have any discipline in their life, just going about life nonchalant, no goals, no purpose, no values, just walking around the road with no purpose. And they end up falling, always constantly putting themselves in situations that hurt them. Those are the types of people. Those are the types of men that we often don't want to become. So that's why those three qualities. That's our definition of masculinity and what a man is. Because if you're accountable, if you're disciplined, if you're resilient, you're gonna do all the things that you know inside of you as a man that you need to do, that you need to accomplish, that you need to work on, you need to learn, adapt, improve, that you need to move on from, or you need to cut off in your life. You're going to do all the things that you need to do, and you know it. Every man knows what they need to do. The only question is, are you doing it? And not only doing it, are you doing it every single day? So, that's my definition. Because if you are accountable, if you are resilient, if you are disciplined, you're gonna do the things you need to do. You're gonna work on your health. You're gonna get physically fit. You're gonna work on your finances. You're gonna have goals. You're gonna have dreams. You're gonna work on yourself to be competent. You're gonna learn from your mistakes. You're gonna fight through hard times. When you have those three qualities, you're gonna do all the things that you need to do. You're gonna take care of your family. You're gonna take care of your kids. You're gonna take care of your woman. You're gonna defend your family. You're gonna fight for your family. So you're gonna do all the. It is literally impossible to not fulfill your duty and obligation as a man if you stay true to those three qualities: accountability, resiliency, and discipline. Right? So every single time when I see men fail, 100% of the time when I see men fail, when I see men at rock bottom, when I see men at the lowest parts of their life and they're not doing well, it's always because of a lack of discipline. It's always because of a lack of accountability. It's always because of a lack of resiliency, right? So that's why I believe those three qualities, that's why my definition of masculinity, that's the best definition I could come up with. And not only Balfesta we came up with was actually his idea, but that's the best definition that we can come up with that's universal, that can apply to all men, all ages, wherever you are, ethnicity, gender, country, it doesn't matter where you are. If you apply those three qualities and tenets to become the pillar and the foundation of you as a man, you will accomplish all the things that you need to do as a man to get where you need to be. And I see Too Lit to Quit, my man out here. He finally clicked the link. Finally, right? Finally want to come on for the first time. So let me add him in.
What up with it, Taco?
Hey, what's up, Toko?
Hey, man, I just want to tap in since I'm usually on the chat just talking my smack, huh?
My man, Too Lit to Quit, finally here, man. Finally here.
Yeah, in the
Shout out to
flesh,
you,
man, in the flesh. Malo, Pito.
I gotta fill up my Kava cup for you.
Oh, wow. Yeah, too bad I can't Eefy on here. I have to Eefy off screen, man.
Hey, you can if you want to.
Mm. Hey, man, so what's up with this masculinity stuff, bro?
Well, yeah. Well, what do you want? What do you want to talk about?
Man, to me, like, I think guys can't even be masculine nowadays, bro. Like, I think we got like walk on eggshells when we talk about certain things.
Yeah, well, yeah, because number one, I think we talked about it before. Number one, most guys we don't even know what that is. What's the definition of masculinity? And I know in you're talking, right?
Yes, sir, man.
Yeah. So in our culture, we don't even have a word for masculinity in Tongan culture. Right? So there's no word for that.
It's like Shanalahi or something like that. I don't know.
Or for Ilaho, I don't know.
Or Tamatiahia or something like that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
But
you're right. The definition is limited in the talking about like
in our
words
Tongan
wise.
language,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, but growing up here in America, but I think in Tongan we don't really. There's no word for it, but we just understood it. It wasn't something that we had to explain, right? And when you grew up in Tonga, you just saw the guys. We go up, algi uta, ngawe, tokonige family, tokonige, we do all the things we need to do. Like I remember growing up, I never had to sit down with my family members back in Tonga. Hey, this is what you need to do. Like we never had that conversation. Like
no, they even bought you and stuff.
Exactly right. We just saw all the other guys. They got up. You just followed what they did. We worked. The Koningi family took care of the family. If something happened or somebody came to threaten our family, we're gonna be the first ones to defend our family. Like these are things that were just instilled through us just by watching the other guys, the older men, the OGs, right? So we had an understanding of like, oh, this is what we do. This is what men do, right? But it's different here in the West, in America, right? Because there's a social media, the internet. So so there's all these guys. They don't see the men in their life because they're going to work. Our parents are going to work, working 2-3 jobs. So they don't see their parents' examples of what the men should be doing. and all they see is online, right?
Right.
So that's why a lot of
why
guys.
you're here, man.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm kind of glad. That's why I'm very blessed. That's why I'm glad I grew up in Donga, and I didn't grow up here. Because if I grew up here, I wouldn't. I 100% believe I wouldn't have the mindset or be who I am today. But I do see a lot of my younger siblings and my younger cousins, man. Like these guys are like lazy as fuck, playing video games all day, ain't doing shit with their life, you know, smoking weed, you know.
But it's like it's because the no model out here.
That's what I'm
You know?
saying is that's their normal, right? That's
Yeah.
what all guys are. That's what that's what their examples of what they see of what men are supposed to do, and I don't blame them. But the thing is, when they become an adult and you need to go out there and start a family and take care of your family, they don't know they haven't built anything in themselves to be ready for that shit. So if all you've done is smoking weed, playing video games, and then finally you get some girl and she gets pregnant and she tells her, "Hey, I need a father right now. I need a husband right now. Step up." These young kids are like, "Oh, what? I have to get a job?
Yeah, no,
I have to
right.
work? Oh
It's
shit!"
like they didn't do their homework before getting into it, man.
Exactly. And in Tonga, we just understood we work. Like we
Yeah.
work. So like when it's natural for me to come out here, just work, find a job, and work 2-3 jobs, it's like it's not a problem. It's just something that was understood. Like we we like now it.
Not only that, hey, not only that, Tongo, let me just say, it's a lot harder to get the fight out there too, man. So that's why I'm saying, even if you ask your pops and them, like if anything, they kind of wish they was born out here. With seeing all this going on, they're like, shoot, man, you see how fucking fool it is out here?
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, I'll Tongan parents like working 2-3 jobs just to make sure that we have food. And I saw my mom and dad, they did that. They worked multiple jobs. You know, we didn't have a lot of money, but we always had food. We always had a roof over our heads. I never had to worry about that. We made ends meet. But if you ask if you ask the younger generation today to work 2 or 3 jobs, they can't do it.
Oh no, it's just man, it's
They can't do
crazy.
it. Yeah, they were like, "What the 2-3? It's too much. Where's my quality time? Quality time.
Where's my break? Where's my
Where's my
PTO?
Where's my fucking break? You know, that's the shit I see. Like, oh, I can't go out. I can't have fun no more. Like, no, welcome to real life. Welcome to adulthood. You know, welcome to responsibility. You know what I'm saying? So, it's a crazy thing that we see today, and that's why I do this podcast on the Thursdays, because there are a lot of guys that I see that especially in America, not only for us as a Tongans, but I don't know if you're aware of the red pill space or the manosphere. Are you aware of that?
Most definitely, yeah, man. When I barely came out fresh off the boat back over here, back to the America, man. My pops was listening to Tom Likas at the time, man.
Tom who?
Tom Likas.
Tom. I don't know that guy.
What? Tom Likas? Okay, check this out, man. Like, he was the one that, like, okay, this is what I used to hear on the show, man. Like, they're like, damn, Tom. After I heard your show, I'd be getting more ass in the toilet seat, like, you know, or like they used to say that it was like he was talking about, like, back then feminism wasn't like famous really like how it is now.
Yeah.
So he used to say, I'm a feminist, so I go half and half.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so I don't pay the whole thing. Like, I don't know if it was a joke, but he was basically trying to teach you how to get, he said, date women, not bitches. Then he would say, yeah, he would say, don't take them on expensive dates.
Yeah.
Just like, that's why I gotta say, take them to the park and stuff like that. Like, stuff that, like, you don't spend any money with. Like, basically, he just taught you how to get women and spend the least amount of money. Because he got like 4 or 3 divorces, bro. And he's like, it's not good. Don't get married.
Yeah, so it's always have you heard of with the ones I see online, that's most popular is Rollo Tomasi. You know, you heard of that guy?
Hey, I heard of him. He's the guy and all, but like it's kind of boring watching his stuff sometimes. But like, hey, it's like, yeah, he speaks like some crazy stuff, but it's crazy though how he can talk all this, but he's married with a kid. You know what I mean? Like, and he has that mentality. Like, I was like, how do you even know without even doing it? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I think that's one of his
That's-
biggest criticism he gets because a lot of
okay,
guys
but-
are saying,
Yeah,
he talk
because
about- yeah.
it's true stuff he talks about, but it's crazy 'cause he don't really practice it, but he preaches it though. That's what's crazy.
Yeah, he doesn't look like that guy that can do all the things that he talks
Yeah,
about.
you when you think about the Godfather, you think about like this Papella dude or something like that. Like, nah.
Yeah,
this
the
dude-
Godfather of the Manosphere, right?
Yeah, you're like, dude, this must be a badass guy right here. Nah. The dude with the glasses on, with long hair and everything. But
Yeah.
nah, he's cool though. But yeah, it just to me it takes a certain audience to watch him. Like, you know.
Yeah, and that's why I think you've heard of Andrew Tate, right?
Yeah, I think he just blew up because he was saying whatever they were saying, but he was just doing it in a better marketing way, bro.
Well, yeah, that's why he blew up because there's the reason why he blew up, especially with the young men audience, because there's a lot of guys that just they're going through that struggle, right?
They're just looking for somebody to follow.
Yeah, and then Andrew Tate, he personifies all the things that we as men look up to, like what the type of man that we want to become, right? He's big, he's tall, he's strong, he looks good, he has money, he has status, he got women. You know, these are things that as guys we think about all the time. Like, man, these are the type of things I want to get accomplished in my life, right? So, and not only that, he is very articulate. He knows how to talk directly, and that's why he blew up. And I think I was watching a podcast. I was like, yeah, the reason why he blew up because it's a reflection of there's a big need for the male voice. There's all these young dudes that don't have no purpose, or they don't know what masculinity is, or they don't understand what being a man is, and then they're facing the consequences. Right, what happens when you don't be that strong man? If you end up being a weak ass bitch, shit's gonna be hard for you in your life. You know.
Yeah.
You know, if you're weak as hell, you're gonna struggle. Like, you have to be strong as a guy.
No
Because
choice, man.
Because girls, there's always a guy that will take care of you. They can find there's always some simp out there that will take care of you.
No
Right,
matter
so-
what, that's crazy to me. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, but I don't. But it's not crazy to me. It is what it is. It's just men and women were different, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is, for guys, is we don't have that luxury. No woman is gonna come and take care of me. No dude is gonna come take care of me.
Nah, man, you gotta build yourself your own stuff, man.
Exactly. You gotta build your own kingdom. Be your own king.
Heck yeah, you're right.
So that's why a lot of these guys are, they're doing all that dumb shit. They see on social media, dancing, TikTok, smoking weed, playing video games. But when they become adults, they realize, oh, all this shit doesn't help me.
Yeah, it doesn't further your life.
Be a man.
Yeah.
And also, get women. The women don't want some weed smoking, living at home with their parents, internet fucking guy, young dudes. Like, they want accomplished dudes. So, and then you add in porn and the OnlyFans. That shit just makes it worse. So these guys are just getting their sexual satisfaction online, but they're not going out there in the real world to try to get it.
Shout out to those OnlyFans people, man. They be getting that sanity. I mean, as much as we hate it, bro, they get that sanity though, man.
No, I don't blame the women. I don't blame the women on OnlyFans. I blame the guys who pay for that shit.
Right. Yeah. What?
So,
They're the reason why they're still going, bro.
That's why I always criticize the guys who always talk shit on the live chat, right? Because sometimes I bring in some OnlyFans girls on my pod on the Saturday night, right? And I hear the girls, oh, look at this OnlyFans hoes. But like, you're the same motherfucker who subscribed to that shit.
Damn, man. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't even done that yet. It's like, that's like a new age thing. OnlyFans. I think that's a monthly subscription, guys. Come on.
I don't understand the OnlyFans, because you can just go like, a porn website and watch that shit for free. Why pay?
Why pay?
But you know why they pay, right? But you know why they pay, right?
What is it?
The reason why the difference between OnlyFans and porn is because with the OnlyFans, you have an opportunity to connect and build a relationship
like you're okay. I get you.
So in their
man.
mind, oh, I'm like this is a real relationship with this girl because
They're talking to me. They're talking back to me.
they'll send them a text and the girl will reply back. Oh my God, this is first time a beautiful woman has ever replied to my text. So we're in a, so that's why these guys like fucking losers, being with this girl. And the girls are just they just do, they know what to do. They know how to hustle these guys.
They're just trying to get their money at the end
Yeah,
of the
so
day.
these guys, that's how they form their relationships with these OnlyFans girls. Instead of going out there to the real world and be that man and go get real women and build real relationships with women. But it's like, yeah, it's the same guys I see on the live chat. They always complain about that shit. But it's like we're the ones who buy that shit. Take away all the men, that industry will collapse tomorrow. If every guy's like no more OnlyFans, it took away, I canceled all their subscription, OnlyFans will disappear tomorrow.
But I think that's also that plays part into to why masculinity sucks nowadays, because you get instant stuff nowadays. Like back then you had to earn it. Now you can just pull it up and stuff. Like you're not even earning anything nowadays. It's like you're like getting an instant gratification right away.
Yeah.
And you're not like it's like I don't your dopamine level isn't there, bro. Like
you made a great point. It's I believe right now in America it's like the easiest time to live compared throughout the rest of history. Like life is so good. Like we have Amazon, we got delivery, we got apps, we got internet, social media, we got electricity, water, we got air conditioning.
Check this out. See, you see the infrastructure in your head, but a lot of these people that's born here, they don't even know about infrastructure. They don't even know how the seagull gets outside to the freaking ocean. They don't know we have like a whole system with this stuff going on.
But the thing is, I don't blame him because this is all they know, right? So for me, we didn't have a toilet. We had a
outhouse.
Outhouse, right? We just fucking
you dig that stuff, put the thing over, do your thing.
Dug a big ass hole, and then once it gets filled up, we'll just fill that hole.
Move it up to the next spot.
Yeah, dig up a new hole, right?
And they don't know nothing about water either, bro. Like we leaking off the SEMA water, like that just comes in
water. Yeah, the rainwater, right?
Dude, I did not know anything about filtering water until I came. I was like, "Shana, that means you know what I was doing back home." Like there was like fungus coming out, but we didn't even care. Like we just.
I know.
Like.
I know that rainwater is probably the best tasting water I've ever tasted.
You're right. I think so because it was fresh, man. That's called fresh water.
Man. That Pacific rain, man.
Yeah, not only that, like how Moa was made. You know what I did? When I came out, I was like, "Shut up! They have freezers of Moa out here." Like,
yeah.
The only time we ate was doing it where you had to kill your Moa and do it real quick. Then you could eat like that. But it's like out here, it's like just go to the store, buy yourself some Moa and cook it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's convenience out here, man.
Yeah, but it's a good thing because it's a sign that our society is progressing. So it's good. But the only downside is it overprotects people from the real world. So the real world is like if you go out there to the real world, like, it's hard. You gotta go out there, work, grind, hustle, sweat. But the thing is, if everything is so comfortable for you, it's hard for people to go outside of that. The thing is, for me and you, is we grew up in the struggle. So hard is our normal, like working, grinding, sweat. That's our normal. So that's why for us is whenever we try to do something hard, we're used to it. So it's for us. Okay, I'm used to this shit. I'm gonna keep grinding and working to get what I
gotta
want.
do it. It's just no choice.
Yeah, but for the people here that they grew up where everything is very comfortable, and the only way you can grow is to go outside your comfortable. Go outside your comfort. You have to be uncomfortable. So when they try, and so they don't end up doing anything hard in their life because they're not used to it, and then that's why they never kind of grow. That's why they never kind of progress. And then when shit hits the fan for their life, when like shit gets real, it's hard for them to overcome it. And then it's easier to just complain and whine and find some reason why this shit is why their life is the way they are, instead of looking at themselves like, oh no, it's your fault, motherfucker. It's your fucking fault, man.
My favorite line, the government, man.
Yeah, they would go on welfare. So instead of going out there to find a job, like, oh, let me, Uncle Sam, to go to apply for welfare, for unemployment. I remember in the COVID, everybody was applying for. All my friends were applying for unemployment. I was like, what? I'm like, why the fuck are you guys applying for unemployment?
Hey, I didn't know how they did that. I was like, how are you guys applying if you guys are not going, man? Like, let me know. What do I gotta do?
No, for me it was just my pride as a man. Like I'm healthy. I have 2 hands. I have 2 fucking feet. I'm fucking alive. I'm gonna go and fucking apply for an unemployment. I'm gonna go out there and work, man. I'm gonna go out there. Like I can't. That's my pride. Like I can't. I'll be embarrassed to call myself as a fucking tamata, man. If to go beg people, beg for money. That's what unemployment is to me. You're begging the government to. You're literally a welfare beggar for the government to save you. Like fuck that. Like I'm young as fuck. I'm gonna go out there and fucking work for my shit. Like that's just It's
It sucks.
like
It sucks because welfare is supposed to. It's like a means to an end. So it's just to help you to get to where you gotta go. You're not just supposed to stay there, and keep going on that. Like you're just supposed to. I don't know. To me, you can use it as a stepping stone if you can, but most people they get too comfortable, like you said, just doing it.
Yeah, well, welfare is for the people that disabled, that type of shit.
Oh my bad. Oh shoot, what am I talking about then?
Like disabled. If say there was a mom, like a woman that had like 5, 6 kids, and the baby dad just dipped, left her hanging.
Okay.
Those
Okay,
extreme situations, right? But not for a healthy human being.
That's willing and able to now. Okay, I get it.
That's what welfare is for the people who are just born, have certain situations that okay, they need help, right? But if you're a normal female and male, healthy, got 2 hands, you got 2 feet, at least have an IQ, have some kind of common sense. There's no reason why you should be going on welfare. And the thing is about welfare is that's why I think it's dangerous, because for a lot of people they get addicted to it. Once you get addicted to the government fixing your problems, then that becomes your normal way of life, and then you just lose all ability in yourself that you can do it. And you just basically you're just sucking on your mom's teeth.
It's like a drug. Once you try it, it's like you get addicted.
Yeah, you just the government's doing all this for me, it's fixing all my problems. I don't need to go out there and do it myself. Oh, I'm good. I'm gonna take that Section 8. I'm gonna take this welfare check. It's sad, man.
Yeah, but like you said, it's comfortability, man, that's making everybody just sit back and relaxing when they shouldn't, man.
But yeah, so I think that's the problem with a lot of guys is in the outside of the Tongan culture is we just don't know what the definition of what masculinity is, So I think that's the first step is to understand what it is. And I think me and Balafessa, I don't know if you've seen Balafessa yet. Have you seen Balafessa on the podcast before?
I think I've seen him on one of your clips on here. I'm talking about in your intro.
Yeah. Yeah. He was on there. Yeah. We've been podcasting from day one.
Jeez, man.
But
congratulations on you guys. Long time coming though, brother. Oh
yeah, man. You know the himi. You know that's my favorite. One of my favorite himi. I don't know if you know that himi.
You know what they're saying is sayang ifenga dai fenga.
Oh yeah. Always.
Only right there.
Wait. Say that one more time.
I said sayang ifenga dai fenga. That's the saying that. That's the saying that you that I grew up like
better to try than not try at all, right?
Yeah, that's it right there.
Yeah.
Hey, but I appreciate you for inviting me, man. Shoot, I like this. This is Tika, man. I like what you did with your show, man. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's
who knew an island guy could be doing all this right here, huh? Connecting people around the world right here. That's mind blowing right there, man.
No, it's just I've talked about it before on this podcast. Like when I came to America and I saw like the opportunity here, I was like, damn, all these people making money and becoming successful. I was like, I'm not I'm like I just for me the way I see it is like I didn't come here to America just to be fucking mediocre. That's just the way I
Yeah,
see it.
hey,
Especially
you're
when I
right,
saw
man.
what my group,
Facts.
especially when I saw my parents, family that grew up in Tonga. Tonga is it's a good place to live. It's a beautiful place, but there's no growth there. It's fuck alpha, you know. So there's nothing. There's no moving up in Tonga. It's just whatever you do in Tonga, that's it. You're probably gonna do that for the rest of your life till you die.
Yeah, it's like
That's just the
yeah,
reality. And that's not, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Also, there's some people they're okay with that. But when I came out here in America, I was like, man, that this is like I saw all these immigrants. That's why I fucking love immigrant stories. When I see a entrepreneur who's an immigrant that came from like Middle East, Africa, all the shit they had to go through, because I can relate to it. Because I came from Tonga. I was like, man, these guys are making shit happen. There's money out here. And I was like, man, my mentality is like, I want to do big things here. That's one of the reasons why it inspired me to come out to start my podcast. I saw the podcast industry started blowing up, and I was like, man, there's something I want to do. And I saw there's not really any Polynesian
no, there
content out
isn't.
there for us.
Now,
And
I think I came across one of your videos, like I think back in COVID or so. One of your videos blew up. You were Taolong or something. It was funny, man. Somebody said, "Hey, whose Toklo is this?" I was like, "I don't even know what this is, but this is Tikado," because that was when I was watching Fresh and Fit at the time. So I was saying you had no Fresh and Fit came in later, but I'm saying but I'm talking about when you were doing your show.
yeah, I was doing
I came,
I was doing it
yeah,
on Zoom. I was doing it on
yeah,
Zoom.
yeah. That man, I think those days were crazy, huh? When you first started. It's
Yeah,
like
because
I think what it was is it was you guys were talking about pregnancy or something like that, and you're
no,
like, no, you
no,
guys
because
are the fault or something like that.
one of my clips went viral. With the first one that went viral was when I said 100% of the 100% of the responsibility of women becoming single moms was on them. It's their
Oh,
fault.
okay, okay, that's the one. Oh man, that was funny, bro. They were going
Yeah,
off on you, bro. That was
yeah, they
funny.
tried to cancel me. They tried to.
Oh shoot, they did.
Yeah, they tried to.
Oh damn, that's that. Hey, what doesn't kill you only make you stronger, brother. You
Yeah,
know.
well, I'm like, for me, I was like, man, I came from Tonga, dude. You think I'll care about some fucking opinion
You're
or hate?
right, man.
Hate
Shit, you
on
don't know
like
nothing about cold showers. Get out of here.
So what do you call it? Yeah, like I see sometimes people like they stress out over comments. Like you literally stressing out over a comment, like negative comments. Like
Yeah, hey, but that's why I be writing those negative comments. I be seeing, hey, let's see if we can catch some feelings real quick, man.
yeah. Now, for me, it's like, man, I didn't go through all that stuff in my life to be taken down by some negative comments. That shit is not gonna take me fucking down. I've gone through way worse things in my life than that. Negative comments is like a walk in the park for me. Oh, this is light work. Compared
It's
to all the shit that we
engagement. It's engagement, man.
all the stuff that we had to do in Tonga to survive. That's not it's
Yeah,
not even close. It's not even close.
yeah, but see, I think it's the struggles that help these other entrepreneurs make it though. Because sometimes if you don't struggle that hard, it'll take you a little longer to make it because you won't even like
Yeah.
it's like pressure basically, bro. Like it's like if you don't break, man, you'll make it.
Yeah, I think I believe when you come from the struggle, like you have a chip on your shoulder and like you have I want to prove it to myself, and that's something I carry for myself. I was like, I have this chip on my shoulder, like I want to make it to prove to myself like I can do it because I know where I know where I came from. I don't like where I came from. I want a better life. And I just want to prove it to myself. So I think but only the struggle can put that chip on your shoulder to have that feeling.
Yeah,
if you grew up if you grew up a comfortable life, you will never have that feeling of that chip on your shoulder. It's impossible to have it if everything was given to you.
Yeah,
you can only feel it that way if you grew up in a struggle and you understand what struggle is and when you don't have things. So that's why I don't think there's a way to replicate it if you grew up in a very comfortable life. I don't think there's a way you can teach. You can't teach hunger to somebody.
You
can't
That's
teach.
it. When
you
you
can't
see
teach that.
when you see people not give up, it's like, nah, that was built over time.
Yeah,
It wasn't just given
It's,
to
that shit was
them.
built through what he saw growing up. Like that shit's instilled in you, based on your experience growing up. You can't teach somebody hunger. It's like either you got it, you don't got it. It's either you got it, you don't got it.
Hey, facts. I'm glad you knew how to articulate what I was trying to say, man. Sheesh.
Yeah. So that's why, you know. But sometimes, sometimes you can develop it, But the only way you can develop your hunger is you have to fuck up so bad.
That there's no choice.
There's no
but
choice
go
but to be
up, man.
hungry to get your ass. So that's the only way. That's the only way for the kids that grow up here.
Bad, man.
That's the only way. That's why I always tell people don't if you make mistakes, don't stress over it, because I truly believe mistakes that happen for you to learn. So if you're fucking, I'm not saying to make it perfect. Don't go out there and purposely make mistakes. Don't do that dumb shit. But if you do some dumb shit, just understand sometimes when you really fuck up, it will wake you up. Like, you wake you the fuck up, like, oh, I really need to get my shit together. And then you start developing that hunger and that drive to get out of it. But you can't teach that to somebody, especially when you live a very good life. It's impossible. I think it's impossible. I think it's impossible. So yeah, man. But yeah, you definitely need to jump on the
I will.
on the
I just
Wednesdays.
I'll have to mute. I'll have to mute myself probably some of those times, man.
Yeah, man.
The kape might come off too strong, man. Who knows?
Just tell it straight.
Hey, I like that. Yeah, because you know what it is, man? I don't like the fact that we can't even say certain things we don't even want to say. Like, you get canceled off saying certain things. Like, dude, like, what I say shouldn't affect your life. Like, you know what I mean? It's just an opinion, huh? It's like, what the heck?
I can say whatever, because I don't give a fuck.
I like that, man. Hey, that thing, clap it up for you on that one, man.
So, but I also another thing I think, for me is like, everything I say is I really believe it. This is my experience in my life. A lot of times, because if you really believe in something, you don't care about the negative comments or the criticism, because this is like, I believe in this shit.
You have
right?
conviction. You have conviction.
Yeah, your conviction, right? It's like the people who absolutely believe in God and Jesus, right? The people who are hardcore, like they believe in that, they don't care. They're gonna talk about Jesus. They're gonna talk about their religion. They don't care. The government could make a law that, hey, we're gonna ban religion, and we're gonna ban Christianity. The hardcore ones who really believe in that shit, they don't care.
They'll go meet in secret, do that stuff.
The weak ones, the people that they try to act like they're religious, but they're not. They're the first ones to change. They'll fold, right?
Yeah, the first one to fold, man.
So that's why I believe that the reason why most people backtrack when they get canceled is sometimes they say something they don't really believe it. Right? Okay. So as soon as they get some heat, they're all, you know what? Let me apologize and let me change. No, I'm not gonna apologize, because this is what I really believe in. This is the things that I believe in and I did to get to this point in my life. If you don't like it, keep scrolling. You don't have to watch my content, right? But I'm not gonna change or apologize. But I don't know if you saw my. I made an apology video.
Oh yeah, I like to apologize to absolutely nobody or something like that.
There were so many.
Hey, that was funny, man. Yeah, I just seen. Yeah, that was hilarious.
That's in my intro when I play my little intro video. In the beginning of my podcast, I included that.
I like that. Hey, shout out! Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Shout out to you. You're one of the few thuggers that can come out here and speak your mind, man. Because most of us, we like to say the things you say, but some of us can't say it. Yeah.
Well, it's not for everybody, because I understand. People have jobs, and depending, they don't want to. So
they don't want to get canceled, like you said, man. They ain't got the heart for it.
Yeah.
Hey, keep up the fight. Yeah, that's the fight nobody can do right now, huh?
I saw a lot of people send me messages on Instagram, and they're like, "Hey, I can't support you publicly, but I'll support you privately."
Nah, shit,
I was like,
man. What
"Bitch."
the? Don't even message me right
I
now.
was
What
like,
the?
don't even send this weak ass message over.
Try to fake, try to support
I
me
was like,
behind
"Hey,
the
if you
scenes,
can't
but don't
support,"
want to.
that's like imagine one of your friends that told you that, right? You have good friends. Hey, man, I can't support you. I can't be your friend in public, but we can be friends in the low, right? Get
Fuck,
get out
bro.
of
You're
here, man.
like, nah. What kind of friend are you, man?
Exactly. Yeah. What kind of what kind of supporter? I'd subscribe to my fucking channel, bro. Take Go take
Thank
away
you.
every single like.
Jeez, I can't believe these guys. Yeah,
Take
hey,
away
but shout
every
out to
single
you,
like.
man.
Take away every single like you fucking liked on my channel. But
Yeah.
no, no,
I had
no,
to
no.
watch more of your stuff to see a lot of your stance on things to see if I disagree with some of those things. Because I think there was one that you were like, I blame the guy for 100% if the relationship,
Fails.
if fails.
Yeah,
Like I can see
I
that
stand on that.
because you said like if the guy leads, then yeah, right.
No, the only way I will agree with that is if you want to be the leader. So there's a lot of
Mhm.
guys, in the manosphere that I want to be the leader. She needs to listen to me, submit
Yeah,
to me,
yeah.
submissive. All right, all right. Hey, if that's what if you want to be the man, right? You want to be the leader. You want the woman to submit to you, give her whole life to you. Then it is on you. Then that means you're the one that have to lead this relationship. She's looking to you to make the decisions. She's looking to you to fix shit, to get things, to figure things out, and that comes with a lot of responsibility. But a lot of guys talk about that, but they haven't built themselves up to be that type of man that know how to lead and take that responsibility. They just talk
Right.
shit from the live chat.
Hey, that's facts too, man. Because
So
it's easy. One thing saying it, but doing it is a whole
doing is
different
another thing.
story,
Like
man.
being a leader is not it's not a easy life. You know,
Mm-mm.
especially if you want to, because leader, we need the provider, protector. We don't want to go to work every single day, pay all the bills, take care of our woman, take care of our kids. It's not an easy life, right? So a lot of these guys, they talk about it, but they're not doing it. But that's why I believe if you want to be that leader and you want the woman to 100% submit to you and be in her feminine and rely on you, like all these guys talk about on the live chat, then that's on you. Then if you fail, if you fail as a man and then she ends up not trusting you no more because you're not consistent with what you're doing as a guy, then you got to take that loss. You got to take that L. Take that L, man. You can't blame. Oh, that's like me being the CEO and I blame the low
The
level worker,
workers, yeah.
the workers for
Yeah.
the failure of the company. Like, nah, you're the CEO, dude. You made decisions for the company, and when the company fails, you can't blame anybody else because that's why we're paying you. Yeah,
So you're saying only when it's 100% when the man leads. You're saying
yeah,
that okay.
yeah.
What about a 50-50 thing? Like that,
The 50-50 shit, you can blame
uh,
anyone. You can
okay.
blame each other.
I get it now. No,
Yeah,
it's just
blame.
that I get
Yeah,
the context of what you
yeah,
were saying. It's just that when you say it, just like I blame the guy, and then you missed the whole part of what you were explaining. Like
yeah.
only when the guy 100% leads, then he's the
Please.
one at fault.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But if you
Yeah.
talk to
I like.
if you talk to most guys, most guys want to be that leader, right?
Yeah,
I
most
want,
guys do, but it's hey, you can't afford it right now, man. It's too expensive. You know what I mean?
yeah, but it's too expensive because you're only working on one job or
You're
40
not
hours a week,
grinding hard enough. Yeah, I
right?
get
Yeah,
you, man. Yeah.
you're not trying to make more money. You know what I'm saying? So
Hey,
that's
but you
why.
were saying these entrepreneurs, these little young kids that showing up, they're making millions. They're not helping the rest of us, man. When we see that, we're like, dude, how? I'm like, what the heck? We've been grinding for how long, and you just come up out of nowhere, driving your Lambos. But it's all fake, though. A lot of this stuff is fake, huh?
No, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's the beautiful thing about America is like there's so much opportunity where you can make crazy amount of money, especially with the internet, crypto. The the only downside for me is when a young dude he gets all that money overnight.
He
problem
took the
is,
elevator and he's just gonna fall down. He didn't take the stairs, bro. He don't even know where to.
well, no, he
where he
is
messed up.
he didn't usually back in the day, you know, and our parents' time, you know, before the internet, before social media, the only way for you to make money as a guy was you had to get a job and then you had to work your way up in the company, right?
In your
So
career, yeah.
when you work your way up in the company, you have to build yourself up and build discipline. You have to be focused. You have to learn how to communicate. Like you learn all these things with, as a man to build yourself up to move up and level up in your life. So you improve, you become a better man, and by becoming a better man, you made more money, right?
Yeah.
But when these young kids make money, make that fast money online overnight, they made the money, but they didn't improve as an individual. So there's
they're the ones that's they're the simps, bro.
yeah. So they made more money, right? But there's still they're still a boy. You're still a boy. You're not a man yet.
They're the reason why there's inflation, man.
Yeah. So that's why a lot of these guys, they make all this money, right? But they still they still struggle with girls because they can't, because they haven't built themselves up to understand, to go some kind of challenge in their life. Because the only way for us as men to like really learn and figure out what a man should be is we have to go through some kind of challenge. And back in the day, the guys, you know, they really had to work years, grind years, and then became successful. But now guys can just make money in a few weeks, few months, and they didn't go through that process.
That hardship that you had to go through.
Yeah, because when you go through hardship,
man.
that shit changes you. That shit molds you. That shit shapes you as a man. Like you think differently. You're hard now. Like you're tough now. When you go through shit, right, you become tougher and become stronger. But when they make money overnight, they're still the same dude they were yesterday.
Yeah, but they just have a lot of money this time.
They just have a lot of, so they're just a nerd with a lot of money.
Yeah,
And
that's why to me, what a lot of people, when they take your what do they call that? They take your cockiness, you know, mistaking it for like confidence because it was built over time. It wasn't just, you know, sometimes like they might take it as, you know, you bragging, but it's just like, nah, bro, like I actually did this to actually get here, you know.
Oh, yeah. So like, you know, that's why you see these guys with a lot of money, yeah. But then they get their girl taking guy, but like a regular ass dude, you know, because the regular dudes, because like at the end of the day, the girls they're still looking for masculinity. Like the women, they want masculinity. They want strong men. So you can have all the money in the world, but if you're not masculine, you know, you're gonna suffer, especially when it comes to relationships. So that's why I told about before, like, you know, discussing in the beginning of the podcast, the you know, being big and 6'4" and 5 and 3, you know, muscle, that doesn't make you masculine, because you know, there's a lot of guys out there who are I know for a fact they're physically strong, but they're emotionally weak inside. All right. The money doesn't make you masculine. I know a lot of guys who, like I said, make money overnight, crypto, but they're still little boys at the end of the day. So they haven't really grown into men. And then I know a lot of guys who can fight. You know, there's guys who know how to fight and know how to beat other people up. But you know, they were the high school bullies. You know, back in the day, you know, they know how to fight and beat people up. But you know, they can't wake up every single day at 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning to take care of their family. So they know how to beat other people, but they can't be disciplined to wake up every day.
Support the family. Vegas, like, man, it's like they have certain qualities, but not the other ones that you need. Like you have to have the whole package. Sure.
Well, but that's why I think those 3 qualities I mentioned on this pod were the accountability, resiliency, discipline. I think if you have those 3 things, you can build everything you need to do as a man. Like you will, if you're resilient, if you're disciplined, you're accountable, you're gonna get more healthy. You're gonna work out a little bit more. You're gonna work out on your finances, be more ambitious. You know, you're gonna do all the things you need to do. It's literally impossible if you have those 3 qualities. It's literally impossible not to do the things that you need to do as a man to become a better man, and in doing so, become that masculine man. Yeah. So, But I saw you. I don't know if it's one of your boys. Just is that Andrake?
Drake, yep. What about? Yep, I think so.
Tweet Samoa .24.
Oh yeah, he's heavy in the culture, but like the Samoan culture stuff.
Yeah. So I think he just posted the pod. If you're watching this right now, thank you, man. Thank you for posting the pod on IG.
Oh, yeah, he supports Polynesian folks, man. So
Yeah,
most
yeah.
definitely.
But Toko, I'm gonna close up the
Yeah,
stream.
Malo, man. Appreciate you for this.
No. You're always welcome to jump on the pod, especially definitely would love to you jump on more on the Mastermind on Thursdays where we talk about the male stuff. Always good to see another Toko jump on. Yeah. And yeah, if you're up to it, jump on the Saturday the Saturday night.
Oh, what's up with the Saturday ones? Because I know you have Wednesdays, Thursdays. Wait, Friday. Wait, what do you have? Don't you have? Yeah,
Wednesday,
you have
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Oh, you have. Oh, damn. You
4 days.
all in a row, man. That's a lot of work, man.
Oh yeah, man. Got to. You got to compete. You gotta outwork everybody else.
Yeah. Hey, I see. The thing is, I came across your page and I'm like, this is the guy I was looking for. Like, I don't know what video it was. That's why I came across your page and I was like, dude, this is the dude that I couldn't even find back then when I remember that video that you blew up on?
Yeah.
I was like, shoot, I should have been found his page a long time ago. But it was just so controversial though, at that time.
But you found me through was it your cousin that came on the pod, Lorna?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, because she's that's my wife's cousin, I think. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's what I was like. Yeah, 'cause I was like, that's the dude I seen blow up back in like the early COVID days.
Yeah. That's crazy how that's how we connected back again. It was through Lorna. She came on the pod.
Oh yeah. Hey, shout out to her for that one then. Jeez.
I know a lot of Pacific Islanders. They don't like me.
Yeah, hey, but actually, I'm gonna tell some of the folks I know to subscribe over here, man. Because you guys talk about uncomfortable stuff that in the Polynesian community don't want to even talk about,
Yeah.
And we need that because see, the Palangis have theirs, the Uli's got theirs. Hey, we need ours too, man.
That's why I started mine. Was like no, there's nothing really for us. So I wanted to start something for us. So
hey, that's right,
but still,
man.
not only for us, but we still do, still can do other things as well. So, we gotta have the dating relationships on Saturdays. So, hey, man, whenever whenever you want to take that challenge, man, hop on.
Hey, yeah, I might have to take it, man, because this is my first time on a pod, right here, bro.
Oh, your first one?
Yeah, this is my first one, man. So I seen that there wasn't that many views. I was like, hell yeah, let me get in there. It's not that many people watching right now. I don't like it when there's too many people watching. But yeah,
you don't want to get roasted on the live chat?
Yeah, because I be doing the roasting, so I was like, nah, I don't want to get roasted, man.
Toko.
Maoni. Hey, but Malo, I know you gotta wrap this up, man, because I don't want to keep your time. Hey, but
good, man. Yeah, appreciate it, Toko. Until next time, man.
Stay that tungaiku too late to quit, man.
Hey, too late to quit. Hey, let everybody out there, too late to quit, man. Okay, all right, Toko.
Malo, Ofa.
Peace. All right. Yep. We're going to close this live stream. Thank you so much for everybody out there. Shout out to everybody that did watch. Shout out to Too Late to Quit. Thank you for jumping on. And in Tongan, we call it Popo Alabe. Thank you for the little chat for tonight to conclude our podcast for tonight. I appreciate it as always. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, I challenge all the fellas out there, man. Come on the pod. Let's chop it up. Let's talk about the things that we go through as men. Let's challenge each other. Let's push each other. Let's be the best version of ourselves and be better men. That's one of the best things you can do. One of the best advices I've received is surround yourself with men who are doing better than you. Build up that circle in your life. And, you are a reflection of the people you surround yourself with. So there's a lot of guys out there doing really well. This is a good platform for us to connect with each other, especially if you're going through some dire circumstances or you're going through the struggle. That's why it's good to keep a good circle of strong men out there. So this platform is good for you guys. Ladies, as always, you guys are welcome to come on the pod. But as always, we'll definitely don't forget to like and subscribe so you get notification when we do go live next time. And until then, I'll see you guys next time. I appreciate you guys for watching. Peace. Off out to y'all.